Thanks for staying with us. So, it has become imperative that we raise the consciousness of everyone, Nigerians especially, to the urgent need of being very aware about everything and everyone in our surroundings, because the level of insecurity in our society these days is alarming. There is need to be very watchful of who our children spend time with in school, where they go to, even as we adults move around with our neighbors and relatives. Recently, I got a call from a neighbor saying that she was robbed. Like, practically, I mean, somebody broke her window and picked up her phone, her cards, every single thing through the window quietly, you know. And, you know, you live in a neighborhood where you're hearing sounds of, ole, ole, thief, 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 and you're thinking, what's going on here?
Everybody will just lock their door.
And everybody locks their doors. So we have to talk about this issue of insecurity. Yes, we hear about the ones that happen outside us, but we're now talking about the ones that happen within our streets, within our communities, in very close range, where you were recently attacked in traffic. Even Nima was attacked. So this is getting closer and closer. And because we have a platform to talk about, it's important that we bring this up again so that Nigerians understand. First of all, yes, we can talk to the government. They can do their own part. But we also have to be very careful. What are those little things we can do to ensure the safety of our children, our family, and our loved ones? You can call us on 081-270-53687. 091-390-76948. You can also send us message on YouTube and Twitter, #YouhaveUTVC. We'd like to hear from you. All right. Talk where you want to go. Okay, Mariam, go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
so, you know, this particular topic, I think, is not even just about the insecurity that's happening around us. The fact that it's even happening, it's being perpetrated by people we should normally trust. So I know that when we're growing up and when we raise our children, we're saying, don't talk to strangers, be careful of strangers. Now, we're going to start telling them, don't talk to your teachers, your proprietors. You know, they're just, the evil has come so close to home, and that is what has made it scary. Because before, you just knew what to do against a stranger. This is someone, if you go to this place away from your comfort zone, away from your regular vicinity. Sometimes when some of these things happen to you, they'll be like, why would you go there at a certain time? Yeah. But now it's happening to you right in your home. You haven't done anything wrong. You've done everything right. And these evil people are just, you know, getting away with murder. I mean, literally. So what we need to do, I know we are saying that this is really on us. Government can play its part, but community also needs to play its part. But I think in calling our community, we cannot help but call our government, where we need systems that work. We need a justice system that works. We cannot have someone who says, my child was kidnapped, we found out who the culprit is, we went to the police station, and 1 year or 2 years later, we're still going back and forth in court when the evidence is still there. So people have found sort of confidence in carrying out crime, because they know in the end, all I need to do is talk to one person or two persons, pay this person money, or after a while, the noise will die down and people will move on. Government has to work hand in hand with people. It's true that communities and families need to speak up when something goes wrong, when they notice something. But when they speak up, who do they speak up to? The police, the justice system. Will they play their part? So because what has happened is people are beginning to do it in such a way that they are protecting themselves. Right. Because when I speak up, I'm now known as the one that spoke up, right? And I'll come back and I'll deal with you. So because there was nobody to protect them in the first place. So
there's some of these headlines you see every single day. I mean, it's heart-wrenching. Man arrested after failed attempt to kill his mom in Imo State. And that one says, married man arrested for allegedly beating and strangling his side chick to death. You know, and you're thinking, so you are jejely in your house, and people come in for one reason or the other. Either they ask for money, you didn't give them money, and they come kill. You know, you don't feel safe anymore.
They're nowhere.
So, YK, you were going to go? Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah. So I read the story yesterday, you know, and I think that's where the topic came from. The medical doctor I saw his video crying on Instagram that his neighbor kidnapped his son, got the ransom, killed the son, buried the son. As in, there's no other way to call it but wickedness. And it's the sign of like a broken system, a depraved society where every man for himself. Anyhow, we're going to all sort ourselves. It's a lawless situation where there is no justice, there's no equity, there's no fairness, there's no value. Anyhow, let's just do it. That's what is going on. And we need to go back to what makes a society develop, what makes us a society, what makes us human, is the feeling. The governor was saying that it's the human feeling, it's the value, it's the fact that we can discern right from wrong. That's what makes us human beings. That's the difference between human beings and animals. We know what is right, we know what is wrong. We don't just throw caution into the wind and do whatever we feel like because we are human beings. We understand, we have a brain. The governor said that people from Ebubiagu were actually macheting human beings, and there was a recording. How have we got to this place? It's like we have gone back to cave, not just the caveman ages. Like we've become a people without any sense of savages. And that, for me, is where we need to go back into saying, as a country, is this what we want our country to continue to grow in? Or how do we backtrack and go back into understanding the value of human life, decency, values, honesty, growth?
But do you know that those of us that look educated or that are dressed to work, are just like those animals that are killing each other? It's just that we've not been pushed to the wall. Because if you think about it, really, the average, when you see a man come down from a jeep, slapping and punching, or saying because I am the owner of this thing, I know I am highly connected, it's the same rationale. I have the right. They're all just a bunch of mad people walking around.
Yeah, but even the stories we're reading, these are educated people.
These are educated people. So the point I'm trying to make, therefore, is that all of us have this problem. Though if you're living in a very secured neighborhood and you think you're protected, you're hardly.
No.
Because we're all affected. It only takes one little thing that happens, and it trips off anybody from any cadre of society. Michael, what are your thoughts on this issue of insecurity? I mean, now, we know the government, as I said, we blame government. No, I'm just talking about what can we begin to do to protect ourselves?
First and foremost, I just want to say a lot of crime is perpetrated by people you know, not people you don't know. Because the enemy that doesn't know you cannot get to you. It's the person that knows you, that can see your surroundings, check what you're doing. That one is the one that will go and feed the information to who is ever going to. Sure. So, first of all, you have to now start to watch.
Your family
it's just like the housemaid that the woman was saying, she brought out an envelope with 500,000 and 200,000, and the maid was on the stage. She's the one that is the maid. Even if she hadn't done it herself, she would have called people that, this is what is happening. So we need to check what's going on.
It's okay. We can't hear you again.
Yeah, and one of the challenges is that we were not always like this. Even before colonization, we've created a system as a people with our culture, a system that calls some things a taboo, a system that ostracizes evil acts and evil people that seem to be unable to control their evil tendencies. We created that structure without any Western influence. So we have the capacity within ourselves to organize.
Yeah, we did that. Okay.
No, so I was going on that I think that the fabric of, can you hear me? Can I be heard?
I think so.
The fabric of our society has completely been eroded.
Yeah.
And it is how we now have to start stitching it back bit by bit and make sure, and everybody is responsible for doing that. Even like we are here, we have a voice, we keep talking to young people. See, crime doesn't pay. Yes, you will get the initial money, but eventually you are going to pay.
Yeah. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing this issue of insecurity and how we can begin to protect ourselves. Yes, Tokwe, you're going to say something.
So for me, it's beyond. We are feeling impacts here. You know, we're in the Southwest. We have touts on the road. We have cultism. You go to the Southeast. You have, in different fractions, different names that they will say they have smoked different things, but they are burning down people's houses. They are saying people are not allowed to have free movement. You go to the north, they'll say bandits came to their city. If you don't pay, you don't settle them, you cannot go to the farm. we've seen it in different places, the breakdown of what's the infrastructure that makes us a society. And yet we have our leaders thinking things are going on well. They are not. And until we address the situation, it will seem like what happened, the aftermath of the NSAS protest is a sample of what can happen if we don't get our acts together and address the fact that we have a crisis on our hands.
You know, you meant...
Let me take this call. I'll come to you, Ryan. Kelechi, are you there? Thanks for calling. Hello, Kelechi.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay, first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Please, let me start by saying that I admire your perspective, your point of view. You ladies are too intelligent.
Thank you, sir.
I wish I would have one of you in the houses of Assembly and National Assembly. I would be very, very happy. I tell you, if not for any other thing, you protect the interest of women and lead the men.
Thank you, Kelechi.
I want to quickly ask this question. Yeah? Morayo, allow me to go back a little bit. I want to ask Miriam this question. Miriam said the other day, at the tail end of your show last year, he said that a mother is a primary caregiver in the home, and it has been said also that the woman is the builder of the home. Now I want to ask Miriam, how can I get a detailed analysis, in writing on that subject matter? If she wants me to come to TVC, I will be very happy to come and collect it, because it's very important for me. It's very important to me. Because if a man, I don't know who subscribed that responsibility to the woman, the responsibility don't finish now. The man is irresponsible. So I want to know why. I want to hear how.
Today. Oh, so
I didn't get it.
Yes, he says, I may have mentioned that a woman is a primary caregiver. Normally, she gives birth, she nurtures, the children, the first parent a child sort of constantly interacts with is the mother. So, but I don't, maybe there's
I didn't really get.
I don't really get where he's coming from.
So let's go here. Yeah, go ahead.
So Topo had mentioned that even traditionally, as as a people, we had a system. We understood what was wrong, what was taboo, but it worked because what was wrong was punished, and people saw that it was punished.
Yes.
What is happening is decade-long of just misappropriation of power, if I may. People who are in power, people who have influence, find a way of circumventing the justice system, not paying for what they have done wrong. And people have seen that and have taken laws into their hands. Yeah. So what happens, what's important for us to know is that everything comes around. What goes around comes around. We're talking of banditry in the Boko Haram in the north, banditry in the north, different things happen in the southeast, in the southwest. The truth is, all these things have an effect eventually on every family member.
Exactly.
Recently, we talked about, there's a story of a young boy who slit the throat of a junior student in Borno State. Borno has been the epicenter of all sorts of banditry and all sorts of violence. What do you think will happen to the children growing up within that community?
Exactly.
What do you think that they're constantly seeing?
Raising
and what
monsters.
they're seeing? Yes. So there's one thing to fight this banditry, there's one thing to fight Boko Haram, there's one thing to go against insurgency and do that quickly. But we know that there are effects that would affect generations to come, and that is even the biggest war that we're looking to fight. How would they affect our children? How are they now interacting with each other? What do they think is the best method to resolve conflict? That they think violence is the way to go.
I think the first thing we need to point out is ourselves. Nigerians, we are selfish. If we don't go to that in the simple things we do in traffic, you want to circumvent traffic because you are selfish. All you are thinking about is, I must get there first. I don't care who I'm going to delay, let me get there first. So until we face that one, with that selfish behavior, if I build my big gates and my estate has gates, nobody can enter my estate. I feel like a big man when I drive into my estate. Oh, until we stop that because instead of making Nigeria safe for only me, let me make it safe for everybody. So instead of building my big gates and big walls, Let's now start talking. Community.
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
I will come back to myself.
Yeah, come back. Good morning, are you there? Hello? Akinwumi, are you there?
Yeah,
You're live. Go ahead, please.
I'm there with you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, this is Akinwumi calling from Lagos.
Welcome to the show.
I'm really happy about the topic that you brought up this morning. And firstly, let me say this. Hello?
We can hear you clearly. Okay, I think he's... So, you see, there's something that Miriam said that I think is so important. This issue of impunity, punishment, not being able to punish people. You see, as simple as it sounds, I think is the crux of how societies are built, really. Because I was having an argument with somebody recently where I kept, I'm always complaining about democracy, saying that this democracy is doesn't fit us. But the guy was saying something that was very important. He said, even what we were practicing then, that was not democracy. Yes, it might have been crude, but we would have evolved over the time. We would have actually refined it because we're going at our own pace. Somebody now came in and brought in this new government, say, okay, before you punish Tokwe, you must go through this process. And Tokwe is not at that phase where I need to punish you for what you've done. You know? So the society at the time would have actually naturally refined itself at its own pace. But what we have done is now we've brought in a system such that it's not, the system is a bit more, is different than where we are as a people. So these people who are committing these crimes today, they're not facing the kind of justice
for other people.
For others.
Wait,
this is now in courts, sleeping in courts, doing nothing.
The people that don't face the justice are not the Boko Haram people. The Boko Haram people, yes, I know that they are not facing justice
As much
as they should, but your politicians that are stealing from morning till night,
All of us.
they will, do they face justice?
The same thing.
Listen, they will just say, they're in court, they're in court, they're in court.
Forever.
Government will come and go, they will not face justice. So, let me tell you, it starts from somewhere. The poor man that will steal a chicken because he's hungry will face, they can cut off his hand.
Yes.
So they face justice. If we don't start to talk from the top, let's forget about the small man first. When you see that your politician goes into power and he steals and he's punished, you will talk to yourself.
So it still rises and falls on leadership, honestly. At the end of the day, the quality of leaders that we had then, pre-colonialism in our raw Africanness, we had leaders that had compassion, you know, leaders that were just, leaders that were fair. And when the leader isn't fair, they overthrow the leader. And a fair leader comes into power. That was the story then. Even then, when someone is found to have committed a crime, investigations are locally carried out to find out if the person truly did it before the person is now punished as due. That's all the leaders, because we have council of leaders, and they do not say this is the punishment due to this person for what he has done. We need to go back to that place where leadership would build the society by making the society realize that we are frowning upon these things. So justice is important for a society. Freedom, respect, community, taking responsibility. We need to now get back into that space where our leaders would show us from practicing themselves that they are submitting themselves to the justice system, submitting themselves to the rule of law. We must leave that place where leaders become powerful so that they can drive through the express, do the siren, everybody will clear the road for them, they pass. So when you submit yourself to the rule as a leader, you submit yourself to justice as a leader, you obey the same rules any other person is. They would align. So at the end of the day, it takes the leader to conform the society into what is right.
I have to wrap up. I agree with you, YK.
What happened with the customs?
Yes.
That is bad leadership.
Yeah.
Yes.
You go because you are a custom oga and say you want to pass this place. They say, no, you can't pass it. Go and queue. No, I won't.
It took Fashola to say, stop running your siren when it does not matter. You do the BRT lane when you shouldn't be on the BRT lane. Simple. Let me take this
final call on this. Good morning. Are you there?
Hello.
Babs, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Hi. Morayo.
Yes.
There is something that baffles me a lot most of the time. You always talk about things that are so important at all times, but no action is taken. We all know what is good to do, but we are not ready to do it. You can blame your heritage, but you are responsible for your future. So whatever you discuss today, since you have been discussing it, what is going to be the outcome? That is the point.
Yeah.
What is it going to be the outcome? Nothing is not. We say this all the time. So where are we going? Where are we going? We can
Thank you very much.
Talk and talk and talk all the time. You always say it yourself. So when are we going to take action? Are we people, if you are not fed up yet, that some people are still benefiting directly or indirectly. That is why it is still going on. Otherwise, Buhari will not be there if we do not want him there. I tell you that. He will not be there if we do not want him there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Babs. I think he's raised an important point, which is that we talk. Talk is cheap. We're all talking. But as much as I agree that people are talking and talking and nothing is being done, somebody must continue this conversation,
yes,
whether we like it or not.
And hopefully the right players would hear.
So our job, we're not state officials. Our job is to continually bring this conversation to the fore so that people hear and know that, listen, the Nigerians are aware of what's going on. So yes, talk can be cheap. We can just talk, but whether we like it, it's better than those days during the military era, where we're not even allowed to talk at all. So I'm happy that this is in democracy where people can actually speak and express themselves and nobody's arresting us for doing that. So let's continue to talk. But the most important thing is that let's also encourage those who want to do. And therefore we'll have a better society.
Last week I saw a video, shooting guns in Idumota.
Yeah, we talked the story today. So they arrested the NURT class. That's why the NURT topic came earlier. So the guy, is it Tafa or Tefa or the two guys, the two factions, something Poli and Tega, something. Two of them have been arrested by the police anyway.
They should make sure that they face that justice.
Okay.
No, that's the point.
Let's go on a break.
That's it.
They've been arrested for questioning. That much we know. Whatever happens after that, I'm not sure. Let's go on a break. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.